Hi, I'm Garth. Welcome to Synenergy Wellbeing. So today I've got a great combination of stretches for you to try that may help relieve a tight, sore lower back. So we're going to do all of these stretches sitting on a chair or something that is at least firm and that you're not going to sink into, and that's also fairly stable on the ground, that's not going to move around. So you're just going to feel safe when you're doing these stretches. Before I get into the stretches, I'll just reiterate, whenever you do your stretches, please consider that you want to hold the stretches for at least a minute. So in order to do that, you want to find a stretch that's comfortable, where you're feeling that you're getting some release, where you can maintain an easy or comfortable breath, and then you'll be able to hold it for that period of time. Over the course of that minute, you'll find that you'll get a much deeper release than what you possibly might even be aware of. So the last thing to say is always come out of your stretches slowly and mindfully. So if you're in a forward bend, for example, like I'm going to show you, you don't kind of get that blood draining from the head and get dizzy. So always just be mindful, come out of your stretches slowly. So the first stretch we're going to do is a hip release or glute release. So we're just going to place one foot up on the knee and sit up nice and tall. So we're releasing this hip here, or the glute, of the bent leg. Now, some people find they're quite tight and they're sort of hunched over, sort of finding that's quite intense for them. If that's you, just see if you can sit up a little bit taller and maintain that stretch. A little bit of gentle pressure on the knee will help that. If you find that you're fairly comfortable in this position, again, sit up nice and tall, bit of gentle pressure down on the knee, and then start to bring yourself forward. Just being mindful of keeping a neutral spine. So we don't want to be dropping through the chest and rounding the lower back. We actually want to keep a neutral spine and keep the chest lifted and just move forward. And that will give you quite an intense release into the glute muscle. Okay. Same thing on the other side. Sit up nice and tall, gentle pressure on the knee, move forward if you need. So this is a really important stretch for releasing the lower back, because the tight glute muscles often pull on the pelvis and therefore start to affect the back. So that's why we're giving you a glute stretch there. The next stretch I'd like you to then add in is a simple twist. So sitting on the chair with the hips pointing straight ahead, so we're not twisting the hips when we turn the shoulders. The hips are actually going to stay tracking straight ahead. We're just going to place one hand on the opposite knee and bring ourselves around. So the back hand will be wherever is most comfortable for you, and we just want to peel the back shoulder tip back, sitting up again nice and tall. Always release slowly. Other side. Again, spending about a minute on each side, releasing slowly. If you do have a chair that has a back on it like this one, your alternative is also to sit sideways on the chair, again sitting up nice and tall, placing both hands on the back of the chair and doing your twist that way. I'll show you the other side, again always releasing slowly. And there's your twist. So the last stretch to pull this combination together is a simple forward bend. So forward bends are always really great to do, especially after you've done a twist. Okay, so we want to have the feet a little bit wider than the hips, so about shoulder width apart, I guess. The feet are still firmly on the floor, and I'm just sitting on the front edge of my chair here. If you're quite tight in the lower back, you may want to take a little bit of time to go forward here. So your first position might be just resting the elbows on the knees. After a period of time, you may find that you want to go a little bit further forward, or you may find that you can go further forward in the first instance, at which point we're simply going to place the hands on the ground. Again, spending about a minute there, coming up slowly. If you want to intensify this stretch, if you feel that you kind of like a little bit more intensity there, while maintaining that sort of comfortable breath and that comfortable stretch, you can simply fold the arms at the bottom. So I'll go forward again and demonstrate that for you. There you go. And that's the 3 stretches that you might find really helpful to relieve a tight, sore lower back. You might find that if you are tight, that you'll get stretching other parts of the body. So that forward bend, often people talk about feeling a little bit of a release in the inner leg or thigh. That's not unusual, and the forward bend is also really fantastic for that. So have a go, and just remember those 3 key things is that we want to find a comfortable stretch where you can breathe easily. And lastly, always come out of your stretches slowly and mindfully. If you've got any comments or questions, please drop me a note below or get in touch with me at synenergywellbeing.com. I hope you find these stretches really helpful. I certainly do, and I give them to a lot of my clients to help them out as well. So give them a go, and all the best till next time. Take care.